My name is Simeon of Cyrene, and I was there the day that Jesus died. I had gone into town with my children. We were actually going to celebrate Passover as a family for the first time. There were thousands of people there, but it seemed like this year there was a little more than usual. But everyone didn't seem to be happy. It was a little strange because usually Passover is a great celebration, but today everyone just seemed on edge. And as we got to the city gate, we realized they weren't just on edge, they were angry. We made our way through the sea of people, and we realized there was this mob that was chanting, and I didn't get what they were saying at first, but as we got closer, we heard it clearly. Crucify him! Crucify him! How could someone be crucified on Passover? They were throwing sticks and rocks and stones into the street, and then I realized they were throwing them at someone. I saw him. He didn't look much like a man anymore. His back was shredded. It was like ribbons of flesh and skin, just hanging there. I've never seen anyone beaten so badly. Then a soldier came up to me and pulled me out of the crowd and told me to carry the cross for him. I was frozen in time. How can I carry this cross? How can I do this? If I get blood on my hands, I'm going to be stained. I won't be able to celebrate Passover. But then he pushed me to the ground. What choice did I have? As I touched the cross, our eyes met. And it was like he was peering into my soul. And then I knew. This man was not a liar. This man was not some crazy prophet just coming up with some kind of scheme. He was the Messiah. Now I had his blood on my hands. They were throwing rocks, sticks. They were cursing, spitting. And as I carried the cross, it was really more of him. I didn't do too much. I was just there. The weight of the cross was really on him. And they got us to Golgotha, this place of the skull. It was like they just couldn't get enough. They threw him down on the ground, and they just started kicking him. I mean, just like kicking and kicking and kicking. I so badly wanted to do something. I just wanted to do something, and yet I couldn't. And then I wanted him to do something. I wanted him to fight back. I wanted him to just tell him to stop it. But he didn't. He just took it. They grabbed his arms, and they pulled, and it was like they stretched, and it seemed like they were just trying to rip him off of his body. And they drove spikes through each one of his hands, and they crossed his feet, and they drove a spike through his feet. And when they lifted up the cross and they dropped it in the ground, he screamed like I've never heard before. It shook the ground. It was like an earthquake when that cross hit. I couldn't stand to really look at him. And I heard him. Every time he wanted to get a breath, it was such work. He had to pull on the nails in his hands and push on the one in his feet, and it was like the cross was just digging into his back over and over again. I don't know how he did it, but he did. For hours. When I finally was going to walk away, I heard him. He said a prayer. I couldn't believe he was still conscious. But he said, Father, forgive them, because they don't know what they're doing. Who does that? Who prays for the people who did this to you? I realized he was praying for me too. I had his blood on my hands. And as I walked away, I realized this blood that was now dried on my hands was not the blood that was staining me. It was actually the blood that was washing away my stains. And that was the time that I realized Jesus was my Passover lamb. That he died for me. I'll never forget it. And I'll never be the same.